Right, hello. So I'm working on a prototype, and I thought we could continue on that prototype. Though one thing we need to fix is we're using GraphQL, and we're using this GraphQL library we've been building because it's been such a hassle for us to. Oh, this is so annoying. We have this bug, resize bug. You see it blinking here? Oh, wow, it's really bad now. I wonder if it's gotten worse related to something. Or is it because I've zoomed in? Oh, that's interesting. It actually gets worse when I zoom in. Huh. But we should zoom in, right? But it should be. Maybe I should refresh. No. Ah, that's interesting. I think it has to do with how Monaco handles like we have this resize observer, and it has like some pixel offset. So it detects that it needs to resize, and then Monaco does a resize, and then the resize observer triggers again because there's some pixel offset to it, and then they go in a loop. Okay, but I guess I have to just do this for now. It's a little bit smaller, but anyways, this GraphQL library is, we have a bug there that we need to fix. So let's see if we can reproduce it here. So we have something here called test, then data. So we have data, projects, and then we have repository, and you can see the repository is an inline fragment. And you can see that it's correctly typed. We have private here, but we also have something else. We have, if we rather go and grab a sandbox. So sandbox ID 123. We don't actually have repository. We don't care about this. What we care about is comments. And comments is just a query where we ask for anchor reference, and this is a reference. And the thing is, let's do ID, and like this should work. So data, as this GraphQL library actually makes it possible to just do GraphQL queries. You don't need a build step. You rather use this create GQL API. This is what builds the API for you. And then you can just consume it and create queries, and everything's typed. You're just using JavaScript or TypeScript to create the queries, and everything's typed, and it's awesome. I'm really looking forward to releasing it. And then we have this anchor reference, and maybe anchor reference, and indeed it has the ID. But now we're going to go in and we're going to say metadata. And this is an actual inline fragment of reference metadata. And it can actually be many different ones. So we have code reference, image reference, preview reference, user reference, and then let's go in here and do like, we want the path here. We want, I'm actually not sure how these inline fragments really work, because what if I only use code reference? Like what would, and how do you know which metadata it is? Like I'm very confused by this. But I think I have to at least grab something here, right? And we're actually only interested in code reference metadata. So I'm not sure how this is supposed to work. But the problem is, if I do metadata, it becomes unknown. So I'm doing something wrong with how we resolve this reference metadata. Is this coming from somewhere? Reference meta. I can't remember how I implemented this. So I think it's this type, but where's this type coming from? Code reference method. Yeah. Wait. Oh yeah, sorry. So this is reference metadata. I just don't exactly know how we resolve these. Resolve query. Do we actually? I don't think we actually explicitly resolve reference metadata. We have list query, field query, list field. How do we actually resolve this? Because what is this at the end of the day? Reference metadata. Yeah, this is the union. So it can be either of these. And this is badly typed in our GQL service because like we have a type on the reference, but it's just a string. Like ideally we would have like the reference itself would be a union instead of the metadata being a union. But this is what we have currently. But I do wonder, why does it produce an unknown? I wonder if because I probably didn't test that. It's most likely because we just resolve the query as like just a record. And then why does it become unknown? That doesn't make any sense to me. How are we going to tackle this? So this metadata is a union. But it does extend record unknown. Yeah, that's the thing. Like this is actually exactly the same as anchor reference in terms of how it resolves the query. It's just that it's a union. So what happens here is it doesn't find it as any like list field or anything. So it goes down here and it tries to resolve the query based on I don't like this. And then it just becomes unknown. How can we test this easily? Because what I can do is I can just do this. I can say like string here. And then we should see like, oh, it's still unknown. Okay, this is interesting. because that's what I'm testing now. Like which of these does it actually hit? It didn't hit string. So for some reason, so it does not extend this one. It extends this one. What if I just do a string here? What happens now? Okay. So it definitely hit this branch, which it should. And what happens now is that this is recursive. So it goes in and what I don't understand is why it becomes unknown. Because key of u here, that's so what we pass in here, that is the actual, so tk, that's the actual data, like that's the actual references, the reference type, and then this is the query, like the actual thing here, or what's being resolved there, the union of path true, file name true, preview path true. And then we hit back in here, and then it checks, does k, meaning it goes through each key of the actual type, which is the union of all possible properties, and then it checks, does that key extend key of u? Damn it, this is really difficult. Why does it become unknown? I wonder if there's some general TypeScript. TypeScript playground. Okay, so this will rather become a stream about dealing with unions. So we're going to just take the type and we're going to try to reproduce this. Reference metadata, where are you define? Okay, we'll simplify it a little bit. So path, string, URL, string. So that's the union. And then what I'm going to try is type blah is in key of, so this would be, yeah, so blah here will be t extends record string unknown, and then we're going to check k in key of t. So we're looking at this, and then we're going to check if it actually extends a key of reference data. So k extends key of reference metadata, string or number. So when we now do const foo blah, we're going to say path true or boolean, doesn't matter, equals, or we have to do as. So now this, yeah, I was able to do that. What if I do URL boolean. Yeah, got both of them. No, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like it says number. It should say string. That's the thing. Because if I do this now and I remove one of them, so it's not a union, then it's a string, right? So you can't extend key of a union. Why? Why can't you do that? Damn. TypeScript key of extends key of union not working. T extends T? Is this a hack? Okay, interesting. So if I were to how would I do this? Keys of union, let's just copy that. Extends keys of union. Yeah, now both of them are string. What the fuck? Okay, I guess that's the solution then. So how do we fix this? We have to. So when we do this key of u, okay, extends. Yeah, because u is a record, but it might be a union. That's the thing. Handle extending key of handle extending key of unions. Well, keys of union. It's, would this work? If I just do this. Okay, let's see what happens. Where's the test? Ah, fuck, it's still unknown. Oh, but I think this is because I need to build it first. Let's see. Web CodeSandbox create GQL API pm dev. No, it's not super awesome, the dev flow here. Let's see. No, we also have to change this one. Ah, I hope this works. Fuck, it doesn't work. Fuck. K in key of T. What's different here? Because K in key of oh, I think it should be opposite. Let's see. Okay, let's try. Can I do this? Would this help? Let's. Yeah, because it should like resolve itself. Okay, we're closer though. For some reason it says never. What's the reason for that? So we're going through the keys of union. It might be because we have to say, if I call this P, and then we'll say T equals oh yeah, sorry. This is such a weird thing. I think it's because here we are doing like a keys of union on when we iterate, but we haven't kind of said when we now do T, K extends A extends, K extends. Okay, maybe it needs to be keys of union there as well. Let's see. Fuck. Fuckity fuck. Think. Okay, what needs to be keys of union here? So we definitely need to go through. Maybe I can just say start the whole thing by checking if T extends T. That seems to be like just a hack. Let's just test that. Is that where never should be? No. Is this where never should be? Oh, it's so difficult to. Oh, yeah, of course it should be. Come on. It should be after. There we go. Okay, so at least that worked. So what if we do the same for the U? T extends, U extends U. A weird thing, but it's well, if we gotta do it, we gotta do it. Okay, so that didn't work. Oh, it did, to some extent. Fuck. Damn it. This really sucks. This really sucks. How are we going to solve this one? It's almost like the thing I don't understand. Maybe we can think about this a little bit. Like what I don't understand is like, how can you even do this? Because like you have this type thing here. Like in terms of typing, this makes no sense. Like this is typed as a string in GQL. So like you don't even know what kind of string it can be. So you can't match the metadata with the type. So maybe I'm trying to fix something that is really a problem with our API. As I said, like the anchor reference itself should be a union, but even then, like the thing I don't understand is GQL inline fragments. So you can do like on Droid get primary function, and if it's a human, get the height. But that does that mean they become nullable? That I don't understand why. Yeah, exactly. They become nullable, which is so weird to me. Wouldn't you rather want to have a type? Is it type of droid? Is it type of human? And then you could actually check. If it's type of human, then you have height. It's so weird to me. And what we could rather do here for reference like inline fragments is maybe we could try to fix it. So you would never, you can only have a single reference. So you would have to express it like, so we have this metadata code. So this is how you express aliases. So what you would do, you would say, so reference metadata would rather be like you would say, you would give the union you want here, and then you would have the object here for that specific thing. Now, what you achieve now is that you rather have a null reference, like is it code, is it image, is it preview, is it user? And then that's something you can use to evaluate like what kind of, in this case, anchor reference is it? And then that will be properly typed. I like that better. Maybe we should just change that because it's such a weird thing that GQL supports this kind of syntax. Because, well, I don't know the history, of course. There's probably a good reason. Like I shouldn't sit there and like say that they're doing anything wrong. But in terms of typing, this is really weird to me. Asteroid? Oh, is this something? Can I change the? Oh, this is Android. Oh, maybe I should. And even version 2. What does version 4? Oh, maybe I should use a different page. Yeah, because I think that's just the Apollo library that makes it a class. But that's kind of the same thing, right? It was Asteroid, blah, blah, blah. Here it will be, you would say metadata code. And then this metadata just ensures that the typing is correct for using reference metadata. And then you give it the specific thing you want. And then we don't have this union issue that we're trying to solve. And we make it more explicit. Like it's so weird to just have a mush of different properties there that like you, and then have this string type. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's try to do that. So how do we build these inline fragments? Inline fragments. Blah, 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 create inline fragment. I can't remember how I did this. Ooh. What's the typing? for this inline fragment. Yeah, so this just builds the union types. Okay, how did this work? This builds the inline fragments, the actual const of inline fragments, and that's where are we now? So let's look at the JS of this inline fragments. Fragment type. Prop. Fragment. Ah, for fuck's sake. So I think this is called, and this would be the type. Oh, and this would be the actual object. Yes. So what this needs to be is okay, because here we return and then we bind it to that thing. Oh, for fuck's sake. How will we change the... inline fragments. So we would list... Okay, so this is the unions. This is not what we're going to do. It's going to be union. So T extends union. So this is all the unions. But here we have type. So T extends type, I think. And then this would be T. Why isn't this? Oh. Oh, sorry, types. But types is, for fuck's sake, that's a string. Okay, so we have to join, this is interesting. We have to join these by, so it can be either of these. Well, no, we should do, sorry, we should do extends key of unions. Yeah. And then we have the key. So where are the unions inserted? They're just inserted here. So unions here would be, that would actually be the fragment. And for fuck's sake. Oh, this is so complicated. It's beautiful to consume it, but it's incredibly complicated internally. Or not complicated, but it's mind-bending because we're producing code. That's what's making it so mind-bending. So we can say key of unions here, and then we would actually get the type. But then we also need to say that the fragment, so the type of this would be, okay, I think we can do that. So we would do, again, we would just insert the unions here. Unions, but it would be T. The problem now in terms of typing, we can test this. Maybe we should just do that. So let's just write this out. So we have unions, and that would be, yeah, so unions would actually look like this. So we have union A, which is like path string, and we have union B. That's how it's structured, URL string. And what we're doing is that we create inline fragment. How should we do this? So yeah, type foo would be a function which returns something. And here we say T extends, and we're actually writing the thing in here. That's what's different. So we're saying this, where the key is T, and then fragment would be the same union, but then we say key of T. Sorry, T. And I don't think it understands that. Because we're not referencing the same type here. What does it say? Or is using private, has or is using a private name. Okay, just so I'm not. Is this yeah, but if I were actually to use unions here, and then, oh, unions T. Oh, sorry. What am I doing here? Oh. This doesn't work either. Why can't it? Oh, sorry. Key of unions. Oh, but maybe it does work then. Let's see. Let's try it. Yeah, nice. Okay, so that works. And then we can say here what we're getting back from this function. Yeah, so this is the interesting thing. So this would be the thing we get back. U extends this. We say this is U, and what we return is U. So now if I go and create like a function here, test as foo, and I do, we have union A. So if I say union A, now this should be like a path string. That's correct. Let's add another one, URL string, or a blip string. Why is it only path? Oh, sorry. Of course. Now we have blip and path. So if I say path here, the thing we should get back, mip. Oh, path, true. Oh yeah, sorry. So this should be, fuck. Okay, let's just do, yeah, how would that work? Because this should be like resolve query. But let's just do this for now. Yeah, and this is of course partial. Oh, that will be partial. I'm just simulating what we actually create there. So this will be path true. So the thing we kind of get back here is path true, which is what we want. Yeah, okay, let's try this. So key of unions, and then we need a u extends unions t, and that becomes, this rather becomes u, and then what we return here is just u, I think. Okay. Let's see if the actual like API works for this. Or the actual typing. Then we'll resolve the actual code and everything later. So now we have this, and then test GQL. Oh, does not exist. What do we actually have here? Bookmark entity? Ah, what did I do? Is this the actual inline fragments? No, that's name. Yeah, that's the name of the union. Yeah, why isn't it there? Why is it only bookmark entity? I'm confused. Oh, that's why. I made a boo-boo. Let's look at this. Type utils. What happened here? Is it because this is... Oh, I forgot a comma, and we shouldn't have a... don't do this. And of course we need a comma. Okay, let's try again. Weird that it was able to infer anything. Kind of impressive, maybe. Oh, is he woken up already? Anyways, if we can resolve this typing, that's a nice weekend type of thing to do, so it doesn't block. There we go. Okay, reference metadata. We're getting code reference metadata. I go in here, I say, I want the path, true, but I want this to be metadata code. And then what happens here now? Oh, it still says metadata. Oh, sorry. I think I flipped it around. So metadata, metadata. Oh, but it still says never. Why does it say... Oh, yeah, and that's probably the other typing here. We should not have this stuff. We don't need keys of union. And then... then it just becomes never. Fuck. Why does it become never? Is it a return type of this? So this... And this becomes path true. And then I find that weird. Why does this become never? Because now it's just, but what did we actually change here? Did we change anything else? I think, oh. That was wrong at least. Because we didn't actually make any changes to the type here. Let's just double check that. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Let's see now. We have a bug in the Explorer. Fuck, it's still never. Why is it never? Because it just returns. Oh, I think I know why. I think we still need this keys of union. Because we need fudge. This didn't actually fix it. Yeah. Fuck, we still have the same issue. No, it's unknown. Damn it, because we still have a union there when we're resolving. Because we have this metadata field, and that is a union. So we have to, let's think about this. So let's remove. So what we're doing here is that we're going through all the keys of the actual thing. And we can't have that being a union, because then you won't be able to iterate the keys. So that's why it should be here. But when we do this, then it's not. Okay, so let's do this other trick. Let's only have one of the t extends t and not have it on the other thing. Fuck. Fuck. Fucking unions. How are we going to solve this? And I guess it becomes, okay, so let's just see where it fails. String. Yeah, and it fails there. Because, yeah, and which never is this? So this would actually be k extends key of u. That's interesting. It doesn't extend. So the key here So for example, we're looking at path here, and then it says it doesn't extend key of u. And that's weird because we have the path in there. So I wouldn't expect this. So let's just say k here. See what we get. path. And then u reference metadata. Oh, sorry, it should be wait, u key of u. Why is this reference metadata? U should always be that should always be what we resolve. How can that be reference metadata? How can that be reference metadata? That doesn't make sense. This should be like the object, like this shouldn't be reference metadata. It should be I'm thinking very hard now. Why is that reference metadata? Oh, wait, maybe we have an error here. It could be just an error in our aliasing. So what we did is when we went through this thing, tk resolve query, so we are resolving the query at some point here, and I think it's here. And it's not nullable, so it should be here. UA. What is this Q? Infer Q, and this is UA. How can this be? UA extends record. Okay, so I'm just going to do something crazy here. I'm just going to say string just to see if this is the thing. Yeah, that's where it is. And for some reason, it passes in UA. So what the hell is U here? It's a how is that possible? It's almost like U is already a problem here. It's almost like we're passing in a T thing on resolve query. But we aren't doing that. How is that possible? Because the top level comments there is what? Well, it doesn't extend that, so it goes here and it extends object query definition. And that's for sure the key. Yeah, so metadata, it's a reference, or anchor, sorry, anchor is a reference. And for some reason, when it finds an anchor, this anchor thing, anchor reference, it passes in, but still, like it was able to resolve ID and type. I don't understand. I truly don't understand this. How is that possible? So we get down, we're evaluating this thing, we get down to anchor reference, and somehow this now becomes a reference. How can that be typed as a reference? So that would be like record. This is where it is. UK anchor reference. Oh, fuck! This is. I thought this is the thing. Oh, this is list field. Where the hell is it field query? Does it extend the field query? What does this actually look like? So where are you? Sandbox, comments. It's a list field, okay, of a comment. And then anchor reference, okay. So we have a list field. And how do we evaluate list fields? We just infer. Oh, I think that's the problem. It's a list. Because this isn't. I don't think this should be Q. Because now we're just inferring what the list field is as a type. But we want UK here. Why does this fail? So if UK extends... I'm so confused. I don't remember how this works. I thought the first param was the actual type. And the second param is... So why is UK extending list field here? Have I done something bad? Because this is... Why is it UK extends list field? That doesn't make any sense to me. Or is it the opposite? Is it, oh, maybe I'm doing this. Maybe T is the thing. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the opposite. Of course. So this is the type we want to resolve to, and this is what we're resolving. Okay. So it's correct that the U here should be reference metadata, because that is what we're trying to resolve to. And then the the T here should really be, path through, the thing we're passing in, right? But this is interesting. It says path. Oh yeah, sorry. The thing we're trying to resolve, path through. So, oh, did I close it? Oh, god damn it. So when we get into a situation, so we've gotten into a situation where we have this reference metadata, but it's not able to resolve it. So this should rather be U extends U, not T extends T. But then oh, okay. I see what happens now. Yeah. So this is because, okay, this kind of makes sense. So what it does is that it looks for path on each union, but then you have never, right? So when we look at code here, it can be like path. Oh, okay, interesting. So it actually does resolve to string. I wonder if we can remove, okay, so I guess this is just an artifact from TypeScript. So it does resolve to the right thing. That's good. What worries me though is that code here. Oh yeah, we just have to fix the type utils. So this can be U or null. That's the thing. We never know for these ones, because it's a union. Yeah, I wonder, is that the case as well for so if we go and look at what is it? Project. We have repository. Yeah, so this is also a problem. Like if I now make that nullable, then this wouldn't work. If we say repository, because you definitely have a repository, right? Oh, I can't believe this is blocking. But we've learned some things now. Maybe we can change this around. So maybe the thing I did wrong was just, okay, let's bring this back to what it was. Because this is not going to work, I think. Let's just discard those changes. And yeah, we have this, we get this error because of a tool we use, a package we use. Okay, so we changed that, and the types here, we haven't changed anything here. We just have this, we're only doing U extends U. Let's see how that works. Because I think maybe that's why it was breaking, because we were doing both of them, or I confused the two thingies. Oh, we don't have much more time. So here we would rather say code reference metadata path true, image reference metadata file name true, preview reference metadata height true, username true. Okay, so what actually happens here now? Oh, we say code. Let's just do metadata. Well, of course, it's already broken though. So, because metadata is unknown. But why is it unknown with the new information we have? Because what's the return type? What's the actual return type of the, why? What? It's so why? Why can't I see this? This is important information to me. Okay, I guess I can just see that. How the fuck should we do this? Because what's happening now is that even though we, when we do, let's drop this one, we do key k extends key of u. Okay, so this should also be k in key of t, because this is also union now, right? Yeah, so that's kind of, if I just do t extends t as well, it should, like in my mind, it should just work. But it doesn't, does it? Well, okay, but this is interesting. So now metadata. Oh, the whole thing is never, or undefined. Can it be undefined? Query, where's sandbox? Comment, reference. No, metadata should be there. For fuck's sake. Why is metadata possibly undefined? Oh, it isn't. It's just completely messed up. So metadata can be path. No, it can't be path. It just breaks. Okay. So that doesn't work. What if we do keys of union on this one? What happens now? Now it becomes unknown again. Oh, sorry, this should be now be t extends t. But that's also weird, right? It doesn't allow me to, but it says it can be undefined. Why can it be undefined? Is that, didn't I fix this? I wonder how it can be undefined. Oh my god, I'm not going to get through this. This bothers me. How can it be undefined? We have nothing that types it to undefined. Ugh, 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 ugh. But the typing here is just awful. Like, even if we do it like this, the typing is just awful. Because you can't... Maybe I can fix that in the query. So when we do metadata, fuck. I don't like any of this. And we're not able to fix it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. So with the previous approach where we actually had, I like the other approach better, but we still couldn't properly well, we did resolve it, but what happened? Do I still have the thingy? Key off or no? Oh, do I have to build it again? So oh, that's interesting. It can't be null. Oh yeah, sorry. It shouldn't be null here. It's the actual God damn it. It's the actual thingy that needs to be null. But then, yeah, so the problem was we can't make it null. That was the problem. But yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so this will actually fix the thing, or has potential to fix the thing. But the problem, we have the opposite problem now, because we know in a union that one of them has to be defined. But well, not necessarily, but maybe that's something we can like get past. So whenever we have an inline fragment, we make that nullable. So even in the context of us grabbing a project and there's like yeah, yeah, I just really dislike inline fragments. Just yeah, I don't like them. Oh, did I forget to? It's so weird in terms of typing to handle them. Like being able to just insert. I guess it's because you include like type name in the query. So you're actually able to evaluate what did you actually get. But still, like even how Kotlin, the Kotlin example, like how it dealt with it, just introducing these optional things. Yeah, I think that really is how we need to do it. So what did we do here to actually make this work? We did u extends u, and then we have a never here. Yeah, we just have to do it like that. And then we have metadata, and we have string. It's a little bit annoying that it has never, but it kind of reflects that these other unions doesn't have the path. So I think that's fine. So and then we would say code metadata. I'm sure why this doesn't. Oh yeah, of course. We have code, but now it's not. That's the thing we need to fix. So in the typing here, we have comments. It's a comment, and a comment has an anchor reference. Yeah, sorry. So reference has reference metadata, which is a union. So we have to make sure that any union we apply is actually nullable, which we can fix. And the reason is that you need to use aliases. That's how this library works. When you have a union, use aliases to extract information about each union into separate fields. And then you figure out which union do you actually have by looking at which of these aliases is not null. I want to state, like, I don't like that, but it ideally you would actually get proper unions. Like in TypeScript, you have like a type on a union to figure out which union it is. But that's not how GQL works. You don't have it. Well, you do have a type. And I guess that's the thing. Like, okay, so let's think about that. If we introduce the type name, so for reference metadata, like code reference, like we don't have the type name here. So that could also be a thing. We would force the type name on unions. And then would we be able to translate that into TypeScript? Because what would happen then in a union is that you can't, like, these are partial, which they should be, because you should be able to ask for what. That's the problem, right? Because the type name wouldn't be a partial. No, I think this is better. So what you would do, like, okay, so how would you actually deal with this? So the way you would deal with this is, well, one thing I don't like here as well is that, well, no, I like this, because now we're explicitly saying we only want code anchor references. That's basically what we're saying here. So if we don't have code, we can ignore the comment altogether if we want to. But I would like to be able to query. Just, can you do that? Can you query for only code Okay, anyways, for our use case, we only care about those that have code references. Yeah, so with this approach, yeah, we can even okay, let's try to conclude on this. So the final thing here is to make it nullable any union. And then yeah, so yeah, we're going to talk about how to consume it. So the way you consume it is like you have a comment, and then it might have either of these fields. So what you do in your app is that you create a type, like an explicit code comment type, which includes the ID. Actually, we don't need the type here anymore because we can just use the metadata or these other properties to figure out what kind of thing it is. And then you do a check, like you go and look at the anchor reference. If it has code metadata, you return it with the code metadata. If you have the other metadata, you return it with that other metadata. So you just have this simple transform function that actually produces the union you want. Yeah, so either it's an anchor reference with code, or it's an anchor reference with image. Yeah, which will be there. It won't be nullable. And then this also works. Like I only care about code comments, so then I can say, if the code is not there, we shouldn't even have it in the list. Okay, let's try that. We're going to try that. So the thing we need to fix now is when we produce unions, union types, name. So this is the actual this is the actual, yeah, now we're still in this thing. Yeah, this is it. So we have to say this can be either of these types, or it can be null. Like so. So this should actually make it nullable. So if we go in here again, so now anchor reference code is nullable, which is exactly what we want. But if it's there, then it has the path, and the path is the string, which is also exactly what we want. Nice. Is that it? No, we also have to fix the actual function for this, do we? Because inline fragment, where is the thing? Where's the proxy? Where do we do that? Here? Yeah. So this is where we create inline fragments. It's just a proxy, which now binds the prop, which is correct, but we're not passing a well, we are passing a fragment, but this fragment now reflects the actual fragment. So when we actually consume this, where do we do that? Blah, blah, blah. blah, blah, blah. And this, okay, so this, yeah, and it gives the type. And then, yes, here we are. Here we are. So when it is a union field type, what I do now is that I create the property, and then we start going through for each key in value. And that's not true anymore. What we do now is we have a union field type. Oh, yeah. So, yes. So the union field, what is the union field type? Now I'm lost. What is the union field type? That's what we bind. So that's the actual, in this case, reference metadata. But then we pass in, oh, sorry. So that's the type. And then we have the union. And what we want to do is assign this fragment a type and a union. Cool. So when we're back here now, we actually have, let's just call it a union field. So if we have a union field, we're not going to iterate. What's value here? Oh yeah. We are not going to iterate through the value. We already have the thing we want. So we're going to do this. And then this is going to be union field dot union. And then we have union field. Oh yeah, we have key here. So this should just be value actually. Do we ever really need a type? I don't think we do. So this could actually just be the, yeah, we just need a value there. So we can actually use the union. Okay, cool. So we'll just use, okay, union field. Yeah, if we have a union field, okay, I think this is going to work. pm build. And then we'll go to CodeSandbox API. We'll build that. Okay, hopefully this works. That would be a nice conclusion to this whole thing. And we have use comments. So let's restart that TypeScript server. So this should start complaining now. So the reference metadata we have is the code reference metadata. And we're going to, I think we can still call it metadata, but I think we're going to be a bit more specific. So we're going to say code metadata like this. And then we're going to do like zo, because this is, yes. And now yeah, and this is going to be code metadata, but it might be null. Won't that work? We don't need a type anymore. I'm not sure what resource is. Code metadata. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. I wonder what it complains about. Oh, is it never stuff? I think it's the never stuff. I wonder if we can remove that. So if I say or never, or never, or never, or never, that doesn't work either. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna take a look at this. Anchor reference, code metadata. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, there it is. Okay. It does resolve it correctly, but I do wonder why it doesn't match. It has all these freaking unions. I think this is why it fails. I wonder if we can filter out. Let's just try to do that. I actually have to go very, very soon, but maybe we can figure it out. So what happens here is we get this list of nevers, and we can, I believe we can filter them out. But it would be nice to know if it's a union, so we don't like exhaust, like, because we don't really want to do this for every single type. The good thing though, yeah, we can actually see if it, oh, this is interesting. Maybe we should flip it around. So what we do, we create a helper type just like this, which is, yes, we create a helper type which says that this is actually union. And when that's the case, we'll actually, yeah, do the extends here and pass it through. But yeah, okay, interesting. Okay, so yeah, so we fix it where we find it instead of like after the fact. Because what we can do then, when we identify that it's like a union field, we go and we grab the actual union. We can do the extends of the extends. We can even yeah, I think that's the solution. Because then when we actually move back up here recursively, we don't have to do this anymore. We actually have a proper type, I think. But did this actually work? Like, or wait. Fragment. Yeah, I wonder. Because the problem now is matching. The problem now is that we actually have a union. Oh, you know what we can do? Oh, yeah, we can actually change the type. Oh, wait, that's even better. That's even better. Yes, so we can actually make our unions look like this. So we don't ever type the internal unions as actual unions, TypeScript unions. We'll type them as a record. And then when we look up this one, we actually look up in this union record. Yeah, and we can even say that, okay, we don't have, maybe we have time tomorrow to fix this, but that makes sense. So we'll type our unions as this format. No, we can't do that. Well, we can internally, like we still need the unions to just be unions because that's how they're typed, and that's but that's also a problem. Ah, for fuck's sake. So no, I guess that's not an issue. Like, that's why I wonder, like, how would you actually consume unions in your app? Like, since GQL clearly doesn't handle unions that well, like if you compare it to just normal TypeScript, you can argue that well, you do have other types of unions. You have string-based unions. So this is very specific to object unions. So you want to be able to reference a union. So for example, authorization is a union of write, read. That makes sense. But when you have a metadata, like a reference union of different objects, that's when it gets problematic. And that's why we have inline fragments, right? Because the inline fragment points to the type name. So that makes sense. So we, instead of using the union, so this would be, so we still export the union of metadata. Like, or maybe we don't even need to do that. Maybe it's fine to just do them like this. So if the union is an object type, we create this type of union, because you'll never use that in your code anyways. As opposed to an authorization union. Because when it's an object union, you would still like have a partial of that. So you would never actually use the full union type, because you have no idea based on the query which fields you actually have from the union. I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, the consumer of this library shouldn't think about this. They should just intuitively use unions where it makes sense. And when you have a field like metadata, which is an object union, they would use inline fragments anyway, and they would like approach typing in a different way. But the point is that now we don't even have to do this extends thing. It's just when we find... Okay, so how would we express this? So we would see that, okay, we're extending a union, like a union query, could even call it that, union query. And what we have on our TK is the what we have on our so what we have on our TK, this is interesting. We might even be able to avoid inline fragments. We can use an array format where the first, this is interesting. So that means we would even be able to say, we don't even need to do this. We could improve the typing. So what would happen here? You would say GitHub, what was it? Code comment. And then the second one would actually be, yes, that's it. And the second one would actually be the thing you want. So what we have in the type here now, or the fields you want, we would have a TK where 0 is extends the keys of this, and then this is the partial thing you pass on. This is it. This is definitely it. And then we don't have any inline fragments, and so it feels a little bit weird now because for the repository field we only have GitHub repositories, and currently that's not a nullable field because unions in GQL actually guarantees that there is a union, but it doesn't guarantee which one it is, and that's the problem in terms of typing. But still, like, that should still be a nullable field, because yeah, that should still be a nullable field, because if we would add something to that union, then that field is suddenly fucked. Like, you don't know which one of them it is. Yes, okay, I'm happy. So let's see how far we'll get on this, because I don't think we actually have, I think so we can do, you see this, we have some arrays here where we do a little trick to identify what kind of query it is. But if we do union query, and then we can say, so the union query would just be I think it would just be the same. So what we infer is, no, I think we can just say A. And then we would say this would be key of A. Yeah. And this will be a union of key of A. That's the problem. No, this won't work. Fuck, this won't work. Because this won't be typed to this, and there's no way to do that. I've gone down this path before. So when we say code comment here, this object can't be typed to that, which sucks. Like, you can't use tuples to narrow down. I am very sure. So let's try that. So we would type, how would we do this? blup would be, so you have the extend stuff. I wonder, is my so t extends unions. No, how wouldn't we do this? Okay, let's just do unions. Well, key of unions. And then p extends unions t, and then this will be t and this will be p. So if we were to test this now, how will we do that? Where I can create a function. But I wouldn't be able to actually. No, that's the thing. Like I would only be able to, yeah, so this should be like union query. And this will just get like a unions here, for example. So how would we t extends record string and then record string unknown. And this is what it would receive, and then we would have to figure out. Okay, but maybe p extends key of t and or equals. No, that's the thing. You need it to be generic, but it's not generic. You can make a tuple generic. Fuck, this would be such a good solution. It looks like we still need the inline fragments, which is fine, but annoying. But annoying. Yeah, because this would just be like key of t, and this would just be like t, key of t. And why is it previously? Why is it? Why does it say this? Type parameters defaults. Why? Previously declared type parameters. Yes, and it's here. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so if I were to test, and I would say union query unions, like, oh yeah, it doesn't even do that. This will be a partial. And this will be a partial of t key of t, but like it wouldn't be able to bind these two together. Like I'm not even getting, like if I do t extends union query, t. Ja.
Hvorfor venter du på meg?
Kan ikke du gå og hente den?
Hvorfor?
Jeg la den jo.
Jo, men jeg våkna dem i hele morges.
Jeg våkna 5 i går. Vi kan ikke ha den kampen her. Bare hent den, jeg er ferdig nå.
Ja, men det er litt teit at du sender melding til meg. Jeg også sitter med noe. Så det er liksom bare...
Ja, men jeg la den jo. En ting er hvis du la den.
Ja, men jeg var med han fra dere dro på tur.
Ja, men vi har ikke snakket om at jeg skal gjøre...
Nei, men det bare... Jeg sitter med noe jeg også, liksom.
Jo.
Sånn at... For å si det sånn, Kristian, det er som bruker det, liksom...
Ja, akkurat.
Nei, så jeg bruker å gjøre det hver gang, fordi du sitter her med det her,
Ja.
og har liksom første pri, føler jeg. Men seriøst, det er jo jeg som har tatt mest i dag, hvis vi skal begynne å sammenligne. Det var du som begynte å sammenligne.
Let's see. There should be unions. Why does it say never? T extends union query. Why is it saying never? Ah, this hurts. This hurts. Okay, I have to go. Yeah, I'm arguing with my partner. He's picking, like, our youngest is sleeping and none of us wants to pick him up. We want to do our own stuff. These kids. Anyways, bye for now.